In this video, I am going to tell you about TestBed used in Angular unit test. If you will observe here, we are only testing this app.component.txt. So here is one method, one variable is here. Then we are testing that only here. Okay, we cannot able to test HTML. Okay, but to test HTML and other related dependent services and components, see here there is no dependency. In this component there is no dependency, so we can use simple. Okay, we can use the simple non-TestBed approach so that we can test everything. But if you go to test like HTML and any dependency, or means suppose this component is depending on any services, pipes or any other external components, then we must have to go for creating TestBed. Okay, so let's go and create a TestBed. I will give one example. So before that, you can just compare here. If we are going for a TestBed approach, we can test integration testing, DOM testing, and if we are going for non-TestBed approach, we can simply test a plain component without any dependency. Okay, so disadvantage is that it is complicated, means your code will be complicated, but here is straightforward code and no DOM testing. Previously we are using non-TestBed approach, so there is no DOM testing there, and here it is fragile. Fragile means suppose there is some issue with the services we are calling in a component, or any issue with the component we are calling in this component or in pipes, so then there will be error, it will throw error and we have to solve that error. And also if there are any issue like creating the object of the service, or there is that service is not called or something like this, then we will get error. So this is the disadvantage for TestBed approach. But anyway we have to go for TestBed approach if we are going to completely go for a unit test. Okay, let's go for that. So for TestBed approach, so we are going to import the TestBed. So we are importing TestBed from Angular core testing. So using TestBed, we can test combiningly all these things. Before that, without TestBed, we are only testing this one. Now using TestBed, we can combiningly test all these files. Okay, so now I will go for writing describe so here describe, I am giving some comment here like a testing app component using TestBed, then there is a function, so I will write here before each. So before each I will create a instance using TestBed. So what you have done here, I am using the TestBed to configure testing module and declaration app component. So I will use TestBed to create the instance of the whole things. Okay, so it will go inside the TestBed. So if I will click here and quick fix it, so I am adding this app component in the import. So this part is done. So then we will go for creating the TestBed instance. Here we can also use providers like declaration. Suppose my app component is depending on a service, so I can create a comma here, then providers, I will give the service name here. So now create one instance using TestBed of app component. So this is we are writing constant fixture, user defined constant fixture because it is returning a fixture. So fixture means one just like a stub or dummy class that is separated from actual component, dummy component, okay, which is not hampering the development work. So it is only for testing, okay. This is replica of the component, app component. So here I will declare let app of any of type any, then app is equal to our app component, okay. Our component is equal to fixture dot component instance. So using component instance we are creating a object. That object we will test it, okay. So here you got it, before each I am doing everything. So I have created one object, okay. Let's see, we will go for the unit test, means the test cases. So we will go for the first test case. This is the first test case, so I am using it. It should create the app. So expect app to be truthy, okay. So if we run this, I will use ng test and it will run. So it should create the app. So test is passed, okay. Then I will go for second test case. So this is the second test case. It should have the title utest2. See here the title utest-2. So this is the second one. Then we will go for one test in the HTML, okay. So I will clear everything from here, write something here. Suppose in the HTML I have this div id equal page title and this is the title here. So we can see what is the output. So I am running it ng-server -o. You can see here this is the output, okay. Suppose I will write this page title in the CSS, page title. So I am writing here background color blue, color is white. So then we will see the output. Yes, this is the output, background blue and text is white. But in here using TestBed we will test this test case. So we will write a test case here, so that we will see that whether this ID contain title. Okay, so here is the unit test, should render the title by div, and the div we are writing like this. So constant fixture is equal to TestBed dot create component, okay. But it is already fixture is written for here. So if we'll make it global, so let fixture any, and the same thing I will remove it here. Then I don't need to write it in both cases, okay. So here fixture just detect changes. So why detect changes? So when you are using HTML testing, you have to write this, so that if any changes to the HTML DOM is coming, it will detect, okay. So then constant compiled is equal to this one, compiled equal fixture dot native element as HTML element, expect compiled dot query selector, this one, page title. So here is the page title, okay, dot test content. This is for null check. So So dot text content should contain utest2. Okay, here it is, title is utest2. Suppose I will write change here utest27. I'll save it. I will get one error. See, one failed. What is that one? That is, it should be utest27, but we are getting utest2. So the actual error is here, because here is a test case. We are not changing this, that's why the error is coming. We have changed the title, but here we are not changing. So if you change this one, plus check the title here. So title is utest27, then we are making 27. Now it will pass. So everywhere that is utest27. So let save it. Then ng test. So after ng test we are getting error, utest27 is equal to utest2, because the issue is that we have not saved here after changing. So I will save it, then the test will pass. So I will go. So now all the three tests are passed. So these are the three tests. So this is all about how to use TestBed for testing your application, and it is just for remember. Yes, you can create the TestBed here. TestBed, you can configure the testing using configure testing module, then declaration, and you can also use here providers. Then here you can write your service if you are importing some service in the app component here. So I will go for this in the next video. So here you can write providers, you can go for pipes also. Then you will create fixture means just like mock component for testing. Then you are creating a application, object of the application. Then you use this, all the three applications here. Okay, it can be used for testing the class as well as the HTML also. Here we are testing the HTML.